Welcome everyone to Liquid Mastery. I'm your host, Kelly Link, and I am joined today by Courtney, who fills a lot of roles here at Team Liquid. What exactly do you do?
First off, I am a music producer, a content creator, and a community manager here at Team Liquid.
Right now, I want to talk to you about how you got into esports. Is there like a defining moment for you?
When Overwatch rolled around, I really got into just esports in general because it was very competitive. And I extremely loved Overwatch, and I wanted to see what the pro scene was like. I went to the World Cup qualifier for Team USA back in 2017. And that's where I met like all of these people from different organizations, different countries. It was just really exciting being in the competitive scene for Overwatch, a game that I really loved. Just overall, I just like the competitive scene for games that I like.
Was there a moment where it shifted from a passion into a profession for you?
It kind of all happened naturally. My biggest selling point was that I have a lot of experience of accumulating a community on YouTube and maintaining that community on YouTube, outside of YouTube. And I was like, hey, what if I take all the experience I learned from YouTube and bring it into the esports scene to make it better? Because it's still a growing industry and I want to be part of that progression.
You were a YouTuber before you worked for Team Liquid. What kind of content did you make? Because I feel like there's a YouTuber for everything now.
Well, that is true. I'm still creating content on YouTube because that's like my passion overall. I started making content just by doing Pokemon spoofs on MS Paint and Windows Media Player. And it went from like news coverages to like very terrible Let's Plays. And then I settled on music because there was another channel called Poke Remix Studio that I listened to their music while I was studying through high school. And I'm like, let me give that a shot. I uploaded my first video that was Pokemon music related. And I'm like, I really like this. And the people that were subscribed to me really liked it. And that kept pushing me to do more and more. And eventually it got to a point where I was known as that Pokemon remix girl.
You've been a content creator and into esports. Eventually, though, you became a Team Liquid. When did that happen?
A friend called me up saying, hey, there's a position open at Team Liquid for community moderator. I got introduced to a little bit of the community staff. They were like, hey, we're looking for people to help mod for us, both on the Twitch channel and our Team Liquid Discord servers. I'm like, cool, I could do that because I do that regardless because of YouTube with my community. And then it kind of migrated into something more, going from just modding the Team Liquid Discord. We were able to bring ideas to help improve the Discord and just making the space more, more family-like.
Yeah.
And we're a part of that process.
You do moderation, but you also do content creation as well, right?
Correct, yeah.
So what's something that you've done for Team Liquid? Is it involved in music or is it like you as talent?
I have been able to integrate my passion for Pokemon a little bit into our own community in Discord. We actually ran a couple of VGC tournaments for the launch of Pokemon Sword and Shield. We had a mini box break for Pokemon TCG early on in the year for Battle Styles. You may be a fan of, let's say, HBox and Smash, but you're also a Pokemon fan. And so having representatives from not just Pokemon, but other games that are not necessarily competitive is very important because, it makes us fans feel like not only is like the TL staff into the games that we're into, but they're into like community games such as Minecraft, Pokemon. Just having that connection besides that competitive standpoint, it just makes it feel more like home. And that's what we're about pretty much.
There's so many different elements that go into content creation. I know that this is a very long and arduous process, but are you okay with teaching me a little bit?
Of course.
You have so many hats that you wear, but even within content creation, you do a lot. So what exactly do you do as a content creator?
So music production is considered content. It's just music in general. I also create music videos for that music on YouTube.
Do you ever review your past videos or your past songs? And what do you consider a success?
It's very backwards for me because usually for me, what I consider my best works doesn't get a lot of views, unfortunately. What I consider some of my subpar or I know I rushed it or I could have done better, that's what gets a lot of views. And I'm like, it's no words. But if I know a piece is good and I get the timing right because there's a lot of things with timing in the algorithm for YouTube. If every piece is in the right place, that video will be set up for success for the long run. And luckily for music, music is timeless. Like you can click on a music video from like 12 years ago and it's just going to get circulated again. Like views are great, but if you want to improve as a creator, you want people to see that improvement.
You have to play towards the algorithm a little bit. So what are some of the strategies thoughts that go into that?
If you started off as a hobby and it is now your job, and you see yourself kind of being nerfed because of the algorithm, if you take an account of asking other creators, networking, which is honestly important as a creator, and looking at trends, not just on YouTube, but Google Trends, that is pretty much free. You search in a keyword and it shows you how much that keyword has been talked about in a certain period of time. You can pretty much add to that. But definitely taking note from other creators that are in the same boat as you or above you, or even like they may not have a substantial subscriber count, but they know how to play the algorithm to where their videos get out there. There's no cheat codes. And the algorithm changes. Even YouTube has figured out, it's like, hey, yeah, maybe the algorithm, we don't know. It is what the world is into, or a trend starts in like maybe a different region and it migrates over here into the West, and then we pick up on that trend.
I'm gonna be nitpicking here, but what about thumbnails?
Usually a face reaction put on a thumbnail.
Like the most amazing thing has happened.
Yeah, the
in
most
their life,
amazing. They're
right?
like, oh. That is usually the format for that I've seen that will usually keep their views consistent, or it would actually pop off because of the context of the video. YouTube has this tool in YouTube Analytics where you can see where your audience is most active, and it will have the most highlighted ones in that specific time slot. For me, because I'm on West Coast right now, a lot of my audience is active between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Some creators, their audience is more active on the weekends, so it really depends on your location and what type of creator you are.
We've already talked a lot about your YouTube content creation, but I'd like to know a little bit more about the Twitch side of things.
Yeah.
Something that we're seeing more and more now is that you're not just a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, you're typically both as far as a content creator goes. Do you stream on Twitch?
I do.
Well, is it all music content?
It's a bit of gameplay, music. Recently, I've been doing unboxings like TCG. If I get something in the mail from, a gift, I'll be like, yo, check this out, guys. I got this cool box in the mail. On YouTube, a lot of my audience don't know what I look like because I primarily do music. And I'm missing that face-to-face interaction with my audience. For right now, Twitch is that outlet for where my audience can come over and see the person behind the music. I want my audience to see, hey, I just don't make music of Pokemon. I play other games on Twitch, and I'm also into other things as well on Twitch. I think I started around a pretty good time because I was playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX, which is the remake of Red and Blue that was on the Game Boy, and now it's on the Switch. It's a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Pokemon. And they were like, oh my God, Glitch is on Twitch. And I'm like, yeah, I'm playing this game, check it out.
Do you think that becoming a Twitch streamer has impacted positively your YouTube creation?
I would say it's a little bit of both. I did it just to try it out, fill the void of what I can do more as a creator, because people would be asking, does this creator stream on Twitch? And the answer was no, but now it's a yes. There are also people asking me, do you stream your process of music making? And the answer is also yes. There was also times where chat suggested things I would do to a track, and there was also a stream where I was like, hey, chat, let's make a song together. Just type whatever in the chat log and I'll see if I have it.
I mean, DMCA has been such a huge issue on Twitch, especially recently. Have you ever been requested to make music specifically for someone's channel or for their YouTube channel?
Of course, more so last year because there was a lot more people getting into just content creation in general because of the extra time. I was actually approached by Discord for a lo-fi project that they wanted me on, and I made 8 custom songs for Discord, and they have this on their lo-fi playlist on both Spotify and YouTube. I want to be part of the solution, and that's what prompted me to create more original music for creators to use across the board, because obviously cover songs are not just enough.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, we have this problem. I can be part of the solution. Let me get better at what I'm doing so I can have this just entire library of songs for other creators to use in their content without worrying about me striking them down or other third-party companies striking them down.
I've already learned that you're a music producer, you're a Twitch streamer, a YouTuber, but you also do a lot of community work, especially with Team Liquid, so I'd like to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
I am personally really interested to learn more about the roles and responsibilities of being a community manager.
Obviously, since I've joined Team Liquid, I've had a little bit more responsibility. Not only am I just doing a community management, I'm also part of the Team Liquid fan support team. We answer fan stories and making sure that every response is being sent out, and we read through fan stories. And there's been such a a coming together, because sometimes we get private messages from those fans that will send us in a story saying, hey, thank you for reading my story and stuff. And then there would even be times where we would add them on like Apex or Overwatch or get their Pokemon Go friend code and stuff.
From my experience, fans aren't always positive. Do you ever have to deal with the negative side of community management?
So in Discord, yes, but it's very rare because a lot of our fans, they're pretty tame. Like you have your super fans, you have your casual fans, and we do get, some hostile fans from time to time. Usually they're cool, but sometimes they have their off days, which is totally fine. And usually we'll pull them off to the side in a DM and be like, hey, everything is cool. Is there anything that we can do to help you out? What's going on? If we need to spend some time just chatting with them and have them vent to us, we'll do that. Obviously we're not therapists, but sometimes they could have like just someone to spam chat to, or they're just looking to play games with us, we'll spend some time in that. And if it's a very hostile person that clearly is not a fan of Team Liquid, like they literally came in here to cause harm, we have no tolerance. We'll kick them out. If they decide, hey, I made a mistake, I want to come back, be welcome back into the community, we'll talk it out, be like, hey, these are our guidelines, be kind to one another and don't be posting heinous stuff. Yeah, we'll welcome you back in.
One of the best things, in my opinion, about having these kind of community-driven organizations are the events that you guys put together. What are some of your favorite events that you've gone to work with for Team Liquid?
Obviously, in a non-pandemic time, we would be doing in-person things. We have to be a little bit more creative online. And so we're trying to one-up ourselves with our viewing parties. We will take on the challenge because I don't think any other org puts in the work that we do for our fans, our family. I'm super excited for all the upcoming events that we're gonna have for our Discord because we're doing that with CSGO. We did this with Dota as well. I learned a lot more about Dota because Dota is like our bread and butter. I've become a fan of CSGO because of our squad, of our boys. I'm like, oh my God, Alish, Stewie, big fan, Fallen, big fan. Oh, you can definitely go into it with respect for the community because you end up growing a passion and a love for a specific game and what you do.
There's obviously a lot of fans out there that probably think community management is a good way to get into esports, but if you were to kind of give them an idea of like what would be a good first step, what would that be?
Make a friend, get introduced into a game. I made friends that really loved Apex, and now Apex is my go-to FPS right now. Just your curiosity of the game will bring you into a community.
So you got Twitch, you got YouTube, you got Discord, all these different platforms to engage with the fans, but if there's one place that I think of for Team Liquid fans, it's gotta be Liquid Plus, which is a new platform.
Definitely. Well, Liquid Plus is our fan loyalty program, and basically wherever Team Liquid is and you're there, you actually accumulate Liquid Plus points to redeem for awesome opportunities and prizes.
Liquid Plus seems like such a great idea. How exactly did it start?
We basically had a problem where we don't really have anything to give back to the fans. They've given us so much of their time and enabled us to do so much more that we need to give back to the fans because we would not be TL without our fans, pretty much.
Well, what's next for Liquid Plus? Do you guys have any events that are you planned, or is it just kind of a hub for communication?
We're always planning for events and stuff. We're actually getting ready for something big coming. I can't say yet, but we're getting ready for something huge, and we're just preparing for a lot of launch events. We always make sure that we have FAQs ready because there's new fans coming in every day that they have questions for Liquid Plus, and we have to be ready with the responses. Not only do we have our Team Liquid regular big Discord, but we have the Liquid Plus Discord, which is a lot more intimate in my opinion, because a lot of our super fans have gathered on the Liquid Plus Discord, and that's where we actually just meme and play games and stuff. That is where people would voice their concerns. If there's something wrong with the platform, we have like a feedback channel saying, hey, this is not appearing correctly, or hey, when is this game showing up? Because we also have a schedule on the Liquid Plus platform. So you know when we're playing or who's streaming, so you can click on that stream and you gain Liquid Plus points.
How else do you interact with fans on Liquid Plus?
This is also where we facilitate a lot of our rewards and events. So for example, coaching with BSJ, we would have that in the Liquid Plus Discord. There was also a session we had with Core JJ that our fans redeemed. And so they had a private one-on-one session with Core JJ, which is lucky.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we would do that as well. We would also hold an AMA. We had an AMA with Adrin, our CSGO coach, a couple months ago. It was so hilarious. I love Adrin. He's a funny guy. And our fans really, really love that intimate interaction.
So we've talked a lot about the many roles that you have involved in esports, but if there's people watching right now that want to know just a little bit more about like what they need to do to be able to be someone like you, what would you say to them?
Do not be afraid to try new things. There is a quote from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Route to 16. I know I sound like a geek, but it is a snowboarder trainer. And when you defeat him, he says, if you don't play your cards right, you're going to be losing all the games you should be winning. I actually wrote an essay about that quote too.
That's awesome.
Don't be afraid to try new things. If you see something that even slightly interests you, go for it. Try it out, see if you like it. If not, take all that experience and put it into the next thing that you want to try out. You just have to allow yourself the time to grow, because a lot of people, they rush into it. They don't get the result that they like or want or as quick as possible. Allow yourself the room and time to grow into the person you want to be. And then you get to share that person with the rest of the world to improve your space.
If someone wants to be a community manager, what's something that you would say to them?
First of all, you gotta be part of the community. That's number one. I am a fan of how passionate the community is for their game. I've learned so much about so many different games. I've become a fan of a lot of esports games, more MOBAs, more FPS, whatever Rocket League is.
Courtney, thank you so much for joining us here on Liquid Mastery. I just appreciate all of the insight that you've shared with me today.
Definitely, I'm happy to be on.